Joining me now is broadcaster Dee Dunleavy. Dee, let's talk about Melania Trump. They're finding new and increasingly desperate ways to attack the First Lady. She's even been criticised now online for reading to a group of young children without showing them the pictures. Dee, the First Lady was at the Children's National Hospital and read How Does Santa Go Down the Chimney to the children, but I don't know, some folk online were upset.
Yeah, upset and really nasty. I think one person described her as looking like she was dressed like a funeral director. Look, they snipe and snipe and snipe at Donald Trump, and it just flows off of him like off Teflon. And thankfully, the First Lady appears to have that same quality where she can just let it flow over her. She was doing something really sweet and kind. She was upholding a long-standing tradition, which is to go and read to the children at that hospital. At Christmas time. And if I was one of the children in that room and I was given the choice of looking at a picture in a book and of looking at Melania Trump, I'd choose to look at Melania Trump. So I don't imagine the children were upset at all. And I applaud her. She genuinely cares about children. She did that beautiful visit to the Scouts with Princess Catherine when the Trumps were in the UK. She was at Quantico at a base, an Air Force base recently, looking after the children of military families and giving them presents as well. I don't think she would care at all about these online attacks.
No, I don't think. I think she has got that Donald Trump quality of just having absolute disdain for almost of the media and the trolls online. Now, footage has circulated of France's First Lady, Brigitte Macron, using a slur against feminist activists who were interrupting the stand-up show of Aaron Abertan, who was wearing masks of the actor and shouting rapist at this performer. Abertan was accused of rape back in 2021, but the case was dropped in 2023. Interesting here, Dee, that Brigitte is reported to have said in French, of course, if there are any stupid bitches, we'll kick them out, using a vulgar expression in French. Well, this is quite a turn-up. I wasn't expecting this sort of work from Brigitte Macron.
Well, I am actually on her side in this, and it doesn't mean I'm in favour of sexual assault, nor does it mean that she is. I think what she's getting at is that she, like a lot of people, are probably sick of protesters interrupting shows where people have paid their money to see a performer perform. We saw it here in Australia when Jerry Seinfeld was performing in Melbourne. Protesters got up during his show and heckled him and had a go, and the crowd really did not have a taste for it. In fact, they booed the protesters out. So I think they do themselves a disservice when they bob up in these situations and put their interests and pushing their cause ahead of what's probably best for most of the people, and that is allowing them to enjoy the show that they paid to see.
Now, Meghan Markle is planning to reach out to her estranged dad, Thomas, a second time following his near-death experience. He had his leg amputated, Dee. She was hoping to get a letter to him as soon as she identified the hospital where he is recovering. Dee, a source has told, source that's supposedly close to Meghan has told Page Six that she had been calling local hospitals to try to locate her father so that this letter could be delivered to him.
Yeah, well, I've called poppycock on most of this, and a letter, like what, is she having it delivered by pigeon? This is just crazy in this day and age, that this woman who holds herself up and is happy to be lauded as a founder and a great, successful, intelligent woman cannot get a message to her father. Well, it's probably close to a week now. I think it's unacceptable, and I feel really sorry for him. He seems to me to have been a very good and decent man. I think he did most of the heavy lifting when she was a young woman, raising her and taking her on set, and she's spoken about that in years past, about how she enjoyed going to work with her father. So there was a good relationship there. For whatever reason it has fallen apart, I think she's obviously the one that's holding out on him. He's desperate to see her, and she's, fumbling over ways to get in touch with him. It's not that hard in this day and age. I don't believe anything this woman says.
Well, yeah, he has been crying out to have some contact, and when he was gravely ill, he was essentially begging her to have one final meeting with him before he passed away. He's never met the grandchildren either. Seems to be estranged for her entire family, other than her mother, which in itself I think is fairly unusual. Now, this next story, this captivated people for a few weeks. Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson seem to be having a bit of a romance, and Pamela Anderson has opened up about this roller coaster romance with Liam Neeson. She told People that they were romantically involved for a short while after they finished filming a film together. And she said she still adores Neeson, but they are better as friends, Dee Dee.
Darn it. I mean, I was like everyone else, and we were, to use an expression some people use, we're all getting ahead of our skis. We all wanted this to be the new romance. I mean, look, Liam Neeson lost his wife, Natasha Richardson, under really sad and tragic circumstances. She died after a skiing accident some years ago. So, we want him to be happy. And Pammy, I think she's really sweet, if not the sharpest tool in the shed. And I think was treated horribly by the media with her whole relationship with Tommy Lee and that sex tape that got released. So I think we're all hoping that this would work, but I don't think they're together. I think she's saying we're just good friends. There was maybe something hot and heavy, however hot and heavy you can get in your 60s and 70s. For a short time, but I don't think they're together.
I always thought it was a bit of a creation. It was a PR exercise. It just boosted interest in the film. It got so much publicity. I never sort of bought that it was genuine, but maybe I'm too cynical. Now, I want to get closer to home. You've uncovered some evidence that Coles is going woke. Well, they have been woke in recent years. Maybe they're staying woke. Let's look at this Coles Christmas book calling gingerbread men gingerbread people or gingerbread person. Didi, seriously, who is offended by the term gingerbread men? Because, I mean, this was a conscious decision. This wasn't just someone who forgot what these biscuits are called.
Well, Rita, I'm a woman and I'm deeply offended that I haven't been depicted as a biscuit with a bald head and stumpy legs and gumdrop buttons, which is probably a unisex outfit anyway. No, I don't think anyone was. Why are they doing this? Why are they correcting something that didn't need correcting? And it does matter because all of these instances where language is changed, where we refer to chest feeding and that someone is assigned sex at birth, all of these things that are not real, it kind of worms its way into our consciousness and becomes part of, that way of thinking, that woke way of thinking that I don't find acceptable. And whenever there is this sort of twisting of the English language to suit the woke agenda, I think that is harmful and I object to it.
Now, before you go, just want to get your take very quickly on Bonnie Blue, who is under arrest in Bali. And one of the people who reported her to the police in Bali has told news.com how and why they did it. The OnlyFans model, well, again, she's not really on OnlyFans anymore. She is a online sex worker. I think OnlyFans dumped her, but she's facing up to 15 years in jail, probably more likely to be deported. She was arrested on suspicion of breaching Indonesia's anti-pornography laws, and the individual who reported her said that the cops at first couldn't even understand what was happening. We had to explain it to them. They just couldn't comprehend it. Didi, thankfully for you, you've only got about 15 seconds. What should happen to Bonnie Blue?
Well, I think if you're in a country, you abide by its customs, and I absolutely back the Balinese people who are very spiritual, who don't want to get a reputation like Thailand or the Philippines as a dirty sex, whatever pit, whatever it is she's trying to convey with her antics. I think she deserves to be punished.
Didi Dunleavy, thank you so much for your time.